unless Jess Hilarious really thinks that since there's nothing left for her to do, why just throw it all on the table? Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another kangaroos video. Girl, energy is on 1,000 trillion, period. Girl, this has been an interesting week. I love y'all. I miss you all. I want to make sure I give y'all some content for the culture this Thursday. Make sure you're checking out kangaroos.com each and every day. Make sure y'all support. I'm just so happy to be able to employ black and brown queer folks to write for the site. I love it. So make sure you're supporting kangaroos.com. Girl, it's a lot of things to talk about and really nothing. It was kind of a slow news week. But some of the stories that we talked about, I'm like, girl, I gotta drag it. But then I gotta think about it. And that's what we're gonna do all on here. So I hope y'all ready for it. Before we get into the tea for the day, let's go ahead and get into this mental check-in. So this mental check-in, I'd rather be kissing you, baby. I am telling y'all to check out my girl Brandy's new album. Check her out. Check out Brandy, got a new album coming out. Should be out 12 o'clock midnight. I think that's when she's dropping it, or maybe tomorrow, I don't really know. But I will be streaming. I've been listening to a couple of songs that she's released already, and I'm just so happy about it. I love Brandy, I love her music, I love 211, that's one of my favorite albums, Aphrodisiac, and Never Say Never, woo, she be getting me through. Never say never, never say never, 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 never. So with that being said, girl, my mental space is doing really, really good. I was able to get some stuff off my chest, and I just feel like free as a bird right now. You don't even understand. So after today or after tomorrow, y'all probably won't be seeing me back to probably Tuesday, but I appreciate y'all. It's just something really, really pops off. So I really want to tell y'all about that. I love y'all, support y'all. I appreciate y'all supporting me. And let's go ahead and get to the tea for today. So Jess Hilarious has decided that she wants to do a reenactment of Megan Thee Stallion and her situation with Tory Lanez. And I want to say Tory Lanez so bad because y'all remember saying it about 2 years ago. But I really am confused of why Jess Hilarious would even do something like this.
That was produced when she felt the hot metal was of this. Oh.
Megan Thee Stallion literally just came out a couple of days ago and did a whole live stream where she basically tried to keep herself from crying and talked about what happened. And people are still finding jokes and humor out of it. And then it's another black woman like Jess Hilarious. I really don't get it. Now, as much as I want to drag Jess Hilarious, and I really don't think she gets it. Remember she did that video where she was behind the person who she thought was Islamic, which they were not. She saw a turban and she just got real ignorant. This is the same Jess Hilarious. I think Jess Hilarious has lost a lot over the last couple of months or last year. That she just I'm gonna do whatever. And I'm paying attention to this because when we talk about cancel culture, yes, cancel culture as itself doesn't exist because it only affects those at the bottom of the social pole, and that is a black woman like Jess Hilarious. When we talk about cancel culture, the only person I've ever noticed to be quote unquote canceled was Chrisette Michele. And Chrisette Michele wasn't necessarily canceled because people were already not listening to her. She was already a black woman, so she was already casted aside. So for her to do something even more, it's just like, girl, you doing this and you're a black woman, it's nothing for us to discard you. So as much as I would like to discard Jess Hilarious, I feel bad for her in some shape or form because she's getting it worse than if it had been any other person. And I have to name someone like 50 Cent. 50 Cent didn't lose any coins behind apologizing or making jokes behind Megan Thee Stallion after that. He didn't get reprimanded or anything. A lot of other male rappers and male folks didn't experience any of that. This is the same thing when I always bring up how how rappers or men are able to be bad fathers, but you've never heard of any entertainer or any celebrity that is a bad mother that career is doing well, besides Madonna. Because she had her son tap dancing with Michael Jackson about a couple of months ago. Girl, no bad. But she's a white woman at the end of the day. But yeah, it's just Future can be a trash father and say all these things and be in court battles and all this stuff and not want to take care of his kids, but Future ain't losing anything behind that. Versus that having a woman losing the custody of her child and all of that, girl, she'd be dragged from the kingdom come. So it's just, as much as I want to discard, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in discarding Jess Hilarious. Now, I ain't got to mess with her no more. I can feed her with a long handled spoon. But Jess Hilarious, I just think that she's just like, I don't even care anymore. And she said some harmful stuff about like queer folks. She said some trans folks. She said a whole bunch of stuff. But Jess Hilarious is, I feel like she's just fighting to get some type of attention. I don't think she really even recognizes that this is trash. I think she just recognizes that she needs some form of attention. She needs to pay the bills. I don't think anybody is hitting her up for any job opportunities or anything. Even the small opportunities that she got, she probably had to fight tooth and nail from them, and look how quick they vanished. I think they would have vanished even before she made those ignorant comments. But look how many other folks have been able to make ignorant comments. You got T.I. was able to make jokes and comments about his child's hymen, and now he got podcast deals and all of these things, and about to be teaching classes at where he teaching classes at some university, HBCU at where is that, in Atlanta, like, girl, at Clark. It's just like, girl, look at it. Come on, patriarchy. We love to not see it, but unfortunately we don't have no choice but to see it because of the world we live in right now. But the video was trash. I don't think she released the full version of it yet, but from the short snippet I've watched, I'm like, Jess Hilarious, do better. Since I ain't got nothing for you, girl, go on down the road. Get away from me with this Apollo. So, girl, let's talk about this delayed election situation that Trump has been talking about. Girl, I'd rather been leaving here, baby. So Trump got on Twitter today, and basically just tweeted and said that, or asked or insinuated that maybe we should postpone the election because we got massive voter fraud probably potentially coming from mail-in ballots and all these things. I'm just like, girl, what? Like, you've been mailing in your ballots. A lot of other politicians have been using mail-in ballots. Like, girl, y'all ain't been going to the polls. So what's the tea? Like, y'all been mailing in y'all stuff. So what's going on? But you see this attack and this constant versions of voter suppression. The same voter suppression that John Lewis, unfortunately, was fighting and getting blocked upside his head. And he's left this earth. And still, voter suppression is still a real thing. That's why I'm no longer interested in any of this. Just tear it all down. He died at 70-something years old. This man literally probably would have lived longer had he not had to constantly struggle through all of these things. And it's just like, why are we interested in upholding this system that is beyond fixing and repairing? We can't keep patching this stuff up. It's like, girl, just tear it down and rebuild something else. Like, I don't understand. That's why I'm not interested in it. Yeah, we can do some quote unquote harm reduction, but girl, it's like, girl, I'm tired. I'd rather be sleeping. Girl, it's a mess. The pandemic is a mess. He's talking about, like, you're gonna have a lot of people who are going to be probably mailing in their ballots because ain't nobody gonna be standing in line for no hours around no folks doing COVID in the middle of the flu season and COVID-19. You saw the mess a couple of months ago, even during the primaries in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, you had folks standing in line for hours. What working class person has 3-4 hours to stand in line and missing work, missing coin when they already living paycheck to paycheck? What is your problem? Like, what is going on? Folks can't miss work to go vote, and a lot of people still do it. A lot of folks still do it because they're just like, I need to fight. So I'm not interested in folks hammering down, black folks don't vote, this and that. We are out here voting, but look what it's doing for us. When we constantly have to fight and stuff, like, we tired. We are tired. I know I'm tired. So, girl, how I feel about it, I would not honestly be surprised if he tries some way to stop him being removed from office. And I think it might be in the version, like, he's already started now by giving these little tweaks and stuff. He's already, I can't think of the word for it, delegitimizing the electoral process. He's already doing it. He's already talking about it being a voter fraud and all these type of things. But I'm gonna tell you this. I think right now, in the current crisis and stuff that we are in right now, I don't think people are going to sit and allow this. If Trump does not leave and something happens, you're gonna have civil war. I am not playing. Folks are hungry, folks are suffering, and they are going through it. And I really think a lot of folks are at the breaking point. You're seeing all of these protests still happening in Oregon, in Chicago. You see stuff still going on, and people are still out here on the streets. Like, you might not be seeing it on your media, you might not be seeing it on your internet and your Twitter, your Instagram, your social medias, but it's definitely happening. And it's a mess. So, girl, child, she do whatever she do with that what she want, girl. But it's like, girl, like, I really don't think people gonna take that sitting down. I really don't think that. But we'll see the next couple of months, girl. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. So really quickly, I want to talk about Nene Leakes' Instagram live video that she did yesterday. Nene Leakes was in this Instagram live and she was basically talking about her contract with Bravo and how everything is going and her fighting to stay being the HBIC and all of these things. And she's still negotiating with her contract with them, and it's an ongoing process. So I watched Nene Leakes' live stream on Instagram, and I like Nene. I like her sometimes. I want her to do the best of whatever she's trying to do. But at this point, it's coming off like she's begging to be on the next season of Housewives. And Housewives of Atlanta has already started filming. They've probably been filming for about a month now. And Nene is still in negotiations with Bravo. And it just doesn't look like it's going to be a yes for her to be on the next season. Now, Nene did make some good points. She talked about how, the differences of when she does something versus when somebody else done, they didn't get the same type of energy. And she was talking about Kim. She said her and Kim are cool, but she did mention that, Kim walked out one season and they gave her a show and then gave her a bigger budget for her show versus her. She didn't get as much. Now, I will say that Nene Leakes definitely did open some doors, along with some other black reality show stars and stuff like Tiffany Pollard, aka New York. But I think that Nene definitely was the reason why Real Housewives of Atlanta is as successful as it is now. But Nene, you've been on this show like how many seasons, and now you're starting to experience that the stuff that you were praised and so happy and all this stuff. It was all good when it was good for you. It was all, the coin stuff was good. But now that you're seeing it, it's hurting you. Like, it was Sheree experience, her hurt from Housewives. It was all fun and like everybody else. Now it's your turn. Now it's just like, oh, this stuff is not right and da 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 da. And I do think that Nene has a point when she says that, black reality show stars are not being paid the same as other folks, are not able to do things. And she mentioned that one Real Housewives star on another franchise pushed Andy. I don't know anything about that because I don't watch the other ones. But they pushed Andy and it was nothing done. Versus, Nene pushed production to get out of her closet and it was a whole thing. But Nene also mentioned that the folks was like, girl, they tired of her saying she's the HBIC and she is the originator, the queen and all those things. If those things are true, I think they are definitely nitpicking with her. And I think it's like, girl, what's the issue? What issue do y'all have with Nene? Now, Nene, sis, as much as I love you, I think it's more than just that. I think it's that none of the other folks want to film with you either. And I think they're just kind of tired of you. And I think that Bravo is looking at you like a lost cause. Like, you no longer bring Bravo anything that is beneficial for Bravo. They've used you over the last couple of years. And now they've noticed that without you being on the show, they can continue to go on because they're not losing any viewership. Like, the viewership really hasn't changed since you've been gone. So you calling yourself the HBIC and all that doesn't hold as much weight as it did previous seasons. You're not the same Nene who you were in the beginning. Like, I went back and watched season 1, season 2, season 3, and that Nene was everything. So, and we don't expect you to be the same turned up Nene, but since you did start smelling yourself, you started to get all the coins and you were doing good and you was like, I'm not doing that, and you left, you was doing all these other projects and stuff, and now that you back on here, I guess I hate to see Nene fight to be on the show and beg because like they should be wanting her to be on there. And it just shows you like, sis, the game of capitalism you play, now that you're not as beneficial to them, they don't see anything. They like, girl, why would we give her this much money per episode when it's not really doing anything? We can just really abandon her. I mean, honestly, they'll do any of them housewives like that. Like, it's all about the coin at the end of the day. It's not about what you did for the show. It's about what we can make money off of. And they just don't think that Nene is worth the coin anymore. That's all that is. So she's still negotiating a contract. I hope that she gets some type of deal, but I really don't see it happening for her. But we'll be paying attention to it. Tell me how y'all feel about it. Now, I want to talk about Herman Cain a little bit. And I know some of y'all probably will feel some type of way because y'all will be very itsy about talking about, death and talking about somebody after they have left this earth, after their time has gone. And I'm one of the folks I really don't care. When my time is gone, people will critique me and talk about me. And I hope they do. I want them to keep talking about me because, baby, keep it going. I want to still be talked about after my death. But Herman Cain recently, he passed today. I think Herman Cain was 74 years old. And Herman Cain went to the Tulsa, Oklahoma rally with the Trump campaign. He went to that, and then he also went to Mount Rushmore, whatever the hell, with the white talking heads and stuff. Sis, girl, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite. Herman Cain was one of them folks that saying, no mask, we're not going to be wearing. He didn't have no mask on. This man was 74 years old. I think he had prior health conditions, and he still was not wearing a mask. He was around a whole bunch of folks. And you were at a campaign rally around a whole bunch of racist white walkers. Like, I just don't get it. Like, as Senator Baldwin said on Facebook, white people are not going to protect you. They're not going to have no memorial service for you. They ain't finna do anything. They ain't finna uplift you. They're not going to do anything for you. You were expendable. You're gone. And what's terrible about all this is Herman Cain was worth some money. Sis was worth some coin. So he got sick after leaving that rally. Like, got real sick. He's been in the hospital since he got sick. He has not recovered, and he's deceased now. So it's just like, you played. The folks used you like they used Diamond and Silk. They used you, and now you're no longer here. Out here supporting this trash candidate that's out here saying harmful stuff about black and brown folks. I guarantee they did everything they could to keep this man alive. I guarantee they spent so much money because he had it. I guarantee he wasn't one of the folks like, oh girl, you know, she's 74, get her out of here. We ain't finna be wasting, we're not gonna be wasting our resources. Like, get it. I guarantee you they held on because of his money and like positions that he hold in society. Girl, the little money he had, cause child, that wasn't enough to protect you. So I feel for the family. I definitely feel for the family. But like, since you was out here. Like, all you people out here talking about some no mask, I'm not wearing no mask, you doing all of that, like they trying to, and y'all just getting sick. Like, you had the other congressman, and I can't think where he was at, where he said he probably got sick because he was putting his mask on and off, but there's barely any pictures with him with the mask on. It's just, wear a mask, wear a mask. I've been wearing a mask. Whenever I've been going places, I've been wearing a mask, and I have not been going to a lot of places. When I go get food, or make any, I'm wearing a mask. You don't even have to tell me to wear a mask to come in. I'm wearing a mask. And that's on period. I'm not playing these type of games. Like, I have a pre-existing condition with my health. I'm HIV positive, so I'm not trying to experience any of that. But good news, just to tell y'all about myself, I did get my blood work back, and remember I told y'all how I was fearful of me potentially being diabetic. Come to find out, I am not on the scale of diabetes, so thankful for that. I have been changing my diet and working on myself, and honestly, it's been having me really in good, feeling good. So I'm gonna continue to do what I can to, like, do better with my portion sizes and making sure that I'm not eating just because I'm depressed. And that's a hard thing to do, because sometimes when I get depressed, girl, I just be wanting to eat. So let's talk about the Emmys. A lot of black folks were nominated. Insecure was nominated for an Emmy. Who else was nominated? A couple of other folks. I can't remember all the folks that was nominated. I really don't care about the Emmys that much, because we see what they constantly do over. This is what you do when the white folks are around, when the white walkers are around. So once again, Pose was nominated for an Emmy, and Billy Porter was the only person nominated. None of the trans folks was nominated. None of the non-binary folks. MJ Rodriguez was nominated. None of these folks. Angelica Ross was not nominated. All of these folks, and it's just like, I'm not surprised. This is the second year this has happened. Now Billy Porter came out and he posted on Instagram, and he was just like, although I appreciate this, I cannot, I see that it's a constant struggle for my trans sisters, my trans folks, to get any type of recognition. So although I did appreciate it, I really think it is time for Billy Porter to kind of step it up. And I know Billy Porter's no activist or whatever. He's just a person just like, girl, I done work hard to get where I'm at. Like, I had to work hard. But for me, if I was nominated for stuff like twice in a row like that, I'm seeing my trans folks not being nominated, I don't know if I can accept the award. That's power. That's power. That's sacrifice. That's sacrifice. And I don't know, Billy Porter, I heard talking about some black hetero folks are the whatever to the in the black community, whatever. Yeah, and why we calling out these black folks? Let's call out these folks that you accepting awards and stuff from too, because these are the folks saying discarding your trans sisters and your trans folks. So like, girl, what's going on? So you can't be loud critiquing black folks on a public platform and not critiquing the other folks who caused all these problems to begin with. I don't have no issue with Billy Porter. I like him. I think he dresses cute sometimes, but I'm tired, and I'm not really mad at Billy Porter. Not mad. I'm really mad at the Emmys, but I'm not surprised at them because this is just how they move. But we got to stick up for our folks. Like, we got to stick up and say, hey, this is not right. Like, we can't be out here, oh, as long as I'm good, and that's not what the energy he's giving. But I just don't see, for me getting recognized twice, and not saying anything. Like, I don't see in what world that is ever okay. I don't get it. You let me know how you feel about it, because it's not the tea for me at all. It's not the tea. But let's talk about marriage boot camp a little bit. That video, that clip of Tahiry and Vado or whatever his name is, trying to choke her, was too much for me. It was extremely too much. So a clip was posted, and Tahiry was calling him the brokest man that she's ever met, and he got up and like was about to choke her, like, and nobody got up. Nobody. None of the men got up. None of the women even came in to console her. Like, girl, you okay? From the clip we seen. And I'm just like, y'all standing around and this is happening. Like, girl, what? That couldn't have happened with me. I remember the last time someone, it wasn't this on this level, but I remember this white man at this movie theater. This was like in the beginning of COVID. He was disrespecting this black female employee right in my face, and I shut him right down right then in that moment. Because I'm just like, sis, you're not gonna disrespect no black woman in my space. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, especially not no worker. It's not gonna happen. But in this moment, you seeing like she's talking, and he's just so comfortable to do this in front of people. Like in front of people, like in front of folks. And I'm like, if he's doing this and on the TV and recording around folks, what is he doing in private? Like, what is he doing when the cameras are not around? So, like, I've told you all before, I've lost my aunt to domestic violence and domestic abuse. So that is a no, and actually, she was killed from that. So seeing that is way too much. Like, who is out here? We out here talking about who's protecting black women. Who was doing that in that moment? It took a minute for what's the name to even get up and stop him. Like, it was too much. And honestly, I don't even know if this should even been played, to be honest. I don't know. So I think Tahiry has released a message, and she's, posted on Instagram. She said this: by now, I know that most of you have seen the clip of tomorrow night's episode of Marriage Boot Camp. Please read my response below. First, let me say that I'm devastated that this would be shown for the world to see, but I fully understand that I have chosen to live my life, in parentheses, good, bad, and ugly, in front of the camera. Let me be clear for all those that are saying this was scripted. It is not. As a woman that has already suffered physical abuse at the hands of a man, why would I ever want to relieve that? There is no check big enough for me to ever play like that. I appreciate the love and support that I've been receiving since this clip was released online. I asked for a moment of privacy as I figure out the best way to address this publicly in full detail. I hope that she's getting the love and support and everything that she needs, but that was disgusting. And that man needs his ass beat. Period. I'm just no ma'am. I hate that for Tahiry. Like sis already dealt with enough. When she was on Love and Hip Hop, I can't think of who she was in a relationship with. But this wasn't the tea. This wasn't the tea at all. And like, girl, this is why I take breaks. This is why I take breaks from social media, and I take breaks from everything that's going on, because this is a lot to consume all of this stuff and just get on here like everything is okay. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I hate that for her. So, girl, that was a whole mess. And I'm just hoping that, I wonder, is he gonna continue to be on these episodes? Because I don't want to see him no more after this. After this episode, I don't even watch Marriage Boot Camp. But after this, I don't even want to see him on the show anymore. And what's funny is that I was just fighting 2 weeks ago. 2 men were fighting. Like, why y'all didn't have this energy with this man? Like, y'all be talking about y'all protect black women. Stop using this as a hashtag and actually be about their life. If you seeing something, do something. Like girl, put that energy to work in real life. That's what I want to see. Everybody should have been jumped on him like and throwing him on the ground. Like, girl, what is you doing, bro? What is this, honey? That's what I've been. What is this, honey? I would like even my baby. I would have got up. There's no way in the hell they would have happened around me. No way in the hell. Even if I would have got there too late, I would have been right there in the moment. Like, girl, no ma'am. But I'm glad that whatever his name is got up and stopped it. But it should have been everybody. Everybody should have got up. Everybody. But they were just not sure what to do because we don't want to, quote unquote, get in somebody else's business. But let me tell you this, and I'm glad I had a conversation with my good friend T. This is community protecting community. Because if we don't stop that, what's going to happen? The police will be called and then they're going to handle it. Well, we could have stopped in that moment and stopped that from happening and handled that in-house before we invite some other folks that's going to cause even more harm to both of us. Period. So that video, I hated it. I hope he's no longer on this show after that. He should be let go and his check should be cut in half or cut in pieces. But that's all I got. That's the things I want to talk about. Shout out to Rihanna for her Fenty Beauty stuff that she's pre-launching right now. Everybody's purchasing that. I guess, you know, I can't wait to hear everybody's, you know, how they feel about it and all those things. I already got my own person that's taking care of my skin. She been popping. Shout out to Asia Rose. I have a whole appointment Tuesday of getting my facial, and I might do something cute for the folks who live in Atlanta in the future. Maybe we can work on something together. But girl, I hope y'all have a fabulous weekend. I hope y'all enjoying y'all day, getting all the love and rest, washing y'all hands, social distancing, all of that. Until next time, I'll talk to you later on tonight. Bye.